They two words that you don't want to say and let me hear them. Number one is fishing, and number two is garden. If you say either one of those words, I don't have enough brains to shut up.
We came to visit Dad for Father's Day, and the garden tour is 39 minutes. And we've not stopped talking about fishing since we came inside. So far, we haven't covered coon hunting or deer hunting either.
You got to show him that big rack.
Oh, yeah. See there. We can talk about deer hunting. Oh, there's the dipper gourd he tells us about because he's trying to grow more of those.
But this is my special catfishing pole. It has a 65-pound test line, and you could pull in a 100-pound catfish with this tackle. You get a big one on, you have to put this rod between your legs and just hang on for dear life while that big catfish is running away. Then you'll get down here and crank and pull, till you wear him out and get him in. And boy, is it fun. This is about a $300 fishing pole. My grandson bought it for me. Now, I didn't go back to the store. I know where they're at, but I didn't look at the price tag. And my grandson wouldn't tell me what he paid for it, but somewhere it's real expensive. But I'll never live long enough. If I live to be 100, 16 years from now, this will still be a good fishing pole. Now this is special for catfish. Now let me show you the one that's for river fishing. We'll let him rest up there.
Oh, he's got to take a break and spit tobacco juice out because he ain't quit.
Now look at this little puny thing. This is what I river fish with to catch smallmouth bass. That's what I like to fish for. But when the rivers and creeks are muddy, well, I can go to a lake and catch big catfish with my catfish pole. And you can see that I'm just a little taller than the pole. Okay? I'm fishing. I've got to hold the rod back here. To get to my lure, I just reach out there and get it. I don't have to go another 3 or 4 feet. You have to have a short pole. It has to be very limber. Look how it bends. And those big smallmouth just about bend it double. So that's
And you got a mouse that you've been fishing with.
That's the best bass bait. It's a real good bass bait. And they really go after that. And there's lots of different lures that'll catch fish. And years ago, I was cleaning my fish at the river, field dressing them, and I always check their tummy to see what they've been eating. And sometimes you can feel, okay, that's a crawdad or something. But this one big bass, his tummy felt soft. I split it open and a big brown mouse fell out. And that got me going on fishing with these mice. And it's a good number. And I wade the rivers. Oh, I try to stay in. Don't get in no deeper than your belt, just for safety. And I wear a life jacket.
Where'd you leave?
I told the kids, I said, well, if I have a big old heart attack and fall over dead into the river, big hole of water, I said, I'll be easy to find. I'll be floating up on top and they can see me. So, and one more thing about fishing. You people with a young family, you got kids 6, 7 years old, 5 years old, get them started fishing and they'll hang on to it. I was 5 years old when I went fishing the first time, caught a smallmouth bass, and that's all I wanted to catch ever since. But back to the kids, you start them out young, like on a lot of stuff. As they grow up, they'll still like to do this and learn, and really learn how to do it, and learn how to fish. And they're good to eat too. Fun to catch, good to eat. And but take your kids fishing. Take time out to show them, be patient, show them how to do it, and before you know it, they'll be catching fish like a pro. One more fishing story. Now this is the gospel truth. Ain't nothing. Years ago, me and my wife, we were fishing small hole of water in a creek. And I was at the upper end of the pool of water. She was at the lower end. And there's a big lump of bushes in between us. We couldn't see each other. And she hollered at me and said, "Alan, I've got a bite and the fish is coming towards you." Okay, I said, let it run, give it time. And just a few seconds later, I got a bite. I said, "Hey, I've got a bite and it's running towards you." I said, "Let's give it a little time." I said, "Okay, wind in your line and let's set the hook." We set the hook and we pulled and we tugged. We saw back and forth. What happened, it was a big carp. It ate her worm and got hooked, came up and got my worm and got hooked. Both of our lines were in that fish's mouth at the same time. That was the funniest thing we'd ever seen in our born days. Both of us caught the same fish at the same time. Now, if you can beat that, you just let me know. But hunting and fishing is a real sport, and I deer hunt. Didn't get one last year. I was real picky. I was waiting on a monster buck, and it just never did come along. So this year I'm going to kill me a big doe, and then go back and look for a big buck. But I want some meat in the freezer. That way I don't have to run the Kroger's twice a week getting a piece of meat. So that's all of the story I have on fishing. Once you start, you want to start when you're young, and it'll grow on you and you'll learn to like it. Or, and let me say one more thing, girls like to fish better than the boys. Now you may think this is funny, but it's the truth. And they catch on and learn and do it. So take your kids fishing and let them have a little fun. And then when they're in school, you can go fishing by yourself. Okay, that's all. See you next time. Okay. This is all for this time. My name is Alan Lester Halcomb from Gordon, Gorden, Kentucky. Bye.